So I bought 8 GB of DDR2 memory on eBay for only $18. Did I make a bargain or did I get scammed? Let's find out. Recently we did a video project on upgrading a small form factor OEM computer to turn it into a Windows XP retro gaming PC. The machine uses DDR2 memory, so I was on the lookout for some cheap RAM. It cost me just over 20 Australian dollars and took a whole month to arrive. There was no tracking or signature at arrival, it just showed up in my letterbox. So here's the package and how it arrived, and each of the memory sticks have their own little packaging. Looking at the RAM sticks, we have two versions. There are 3 sticks that have chips with Qimonda on it and the other one from Nanya. So I had a look online and I found the data sheets for these chips. They've got 1 gigabit each and there are 8 on each side, so 16 in total, which gives us a capacity of 2 gigabytes per stick, so that's all legit. However, the rating is off. The chips are rated only up to 667 megahertz with 55515 timings. However, when you insert them in the machine, they will run at 800 megahertz, and we will have a look at the SPD information and talk about that later. So let's open the machine. This is really easy with these OEM machines. Just remove the screws at the back and slide the cover away. Unfortunately, when trying first, the machine wouldn't turn on, but hang on, there's a lot more to talk about. So I tried each stick one by one and none of them worked. So I had a closer look at the eBay description and it actually states that the memory is not compatible with Intel and you need to have an AMD system. This must be one of the few times where I've encountered anything that doesn't work on Intel but works with AMD. So of course I had to find out, so I got an MSI AM2 motherboard. We've got an Athlon 64X2 processor and a stock AMD cooler. Did a bit of cleaning, applying some fresh thermal paste, and off we go. The system has an onboard video card and lo and behold, yes, it posts. So I tried with a single stick first. The 2 gigabytes of RAM show up just fine. I tried a second stick, the 4 gigabytes showed up fine, and I tried all 4 sticks, and yes, we've got 8 gigabytes of DDR2 memory. So let's run some memtest and find out if the memory is stable. So I hooked up an optical drive and booting off the Ultimate Boot CD into memtest, and we can see that the memory runs at 866 megahertz with 66618 timings. Interesting that the memory is identified as Kingston. It's 6 in the morning, so far everything is working fine. 10 hours have passed, 3 passes, no errors so far. So yeah, the RAM seems to work just fine in this AMD system and has passed memtest for quite a few hours. So what I want to do next is get the SPD information reading. So I'm booting off a Windows XP Live CD and I'm running CPU-Z, and we can see the readouts now for the SPD chips. And they're all identical, all 4 memory sticks have the same information. And indeed, it identifies itself as a Kingston brand and with a compatibility with 800 megahertz clock speed. So there we have it. There's something fishy going on. They're basically overclocking these memory chips. Now, I'm not quite sure how they did it. Did they just reprogram the SPD or did they actually desolder some of these memory chips and put them on new boards? But regardless, the chips, the modules themselves are only rated for 667 megahertz and they're overclocking it to 800. So although memtest ran successfully, you never quite know how long this stability is gonna last. Maybe these chips will die a slow death, we just don't know. What you can do is go into the BIOS and manually run the chips at the slower speed, 667 megahertz, which will also give you faster timings, so it might end up being the same speed. And if you do go out and buy some of these memory chips, why not buy 6 of them so you have 2 backups just in case something fails, which I have heard can happen. So was this a bargain or did I get scammed? I think it's a little bit of both, but what do you think? Share your thoughts down below in the comments. And that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Click on the notification bell, like, dislike, comment, all the usual stuff, and I shall see you soon with another video.